Greetings everyone, MizzeeOH here. In case you haven't noticed the change in reviewers yet, I will be filling in for Eos this installment of spoiler-free. Once we locate that chest, whether he's in the snowy conditions of Hoth or his species' home planet of Scylla, he will go back to reviewing just as before. No worries. Let the search commence! On a Sith world, secluded from the rest of the galaxy, there is a Sith Academy on its surface, home to many potential Sith who seek to learn the ways of the dark side. All seems normal until the outbreak of a strange disease, spreading rapidly throughout the entire school and turning the students into mindless, bloodthirsty creatures. Now the remaining normal students, and others who find themselves on the planet, must search for a way to escape. If they don't, they will surely meet their deaths on the planet. Or worse, turn into one of the horrid creatures that are attacking. Red Harvest has been something I wanted to check out from the day it was announced. A second Star Wars horror novel? One is cool enough, but a second one being announced was awesome news, and the fact that it was planned to be a prequel to Death Troopers, Joe Schreiber's first Star Wars novel last year, meant that perhaps some of the problems I had with that book could be fixed, and even some of the questions I had about it could be cleared up. Red Harvest started off fantastically. The first few chapters focused on the going-ons of the Sith Empire and the training of the Sith, showing some of the true horrors that go on. I loved this direction so much. It was creepy, well done, and certainly believable in terms of Star Wars. Then the zombies came in, and Red Harvest took a whole new turn for me. One of my complaints with Death Troopers was that the zombies, at least in this format, are simply not scary, and only very rarely creepy. Sure, they're alright in movie format, but in books, at least things like Death Troopers, I would much rather have something else other than zombies that can be qualified as horror, and there are many things that can be. I know that with Red Harvest being a prequel to Death Troopers, I couldn't expect there to be a lack of zombies in the storyline, but with the taste of the first few chapters, the ones about the Sith themselves and less the zombie/disease, I wish we would have gotten another standalone novel focusing more on that type of thing, rather than a prequel to Death Troopers that pretty much just offers the same storyline. My feelings about zombies in Star Wars haven't changed from Death Troopers just because of Red Harvest. I'll admit that they're written a bit better than in the novel's predecessor, but simply because of the extreme focus on the zombies in the plot, I have a hard time really taking this novel seriously. I know what you're probably thinking. This is Star Wars we're talking about, MizzeeOH. Not everything is going to be believable in it. God! While that may be so, it doesn't mean things like this really fit in the Star Wars universe. Plus, some of the things in Red Harvest... oh my goodness. I can't go into detail about two scenes in particular I'm thinking of, because those would obviously qualify as spoilers, but there were a couple of scenes in the novel, one of which literally made my jaw drop in amazement, and I didn't even know about it until a few seconds afterwards. That almost made me laugh out loud, just because it was so ridiculous. I couldn't believe what I was reading. Think of the most silly zombie movie you've ever seen, and you have a rough idea of what I'm talking about, or at least what I'm thinking of. The book was just full of those sorts of insane things, including... how do I put this? Okay, I've got it. Just look at this clip, and once you read the book, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Come on, I haven't got much left. Just give me a few days to heal, okay? Then we'll start again on the left hand and...
Feed me.
I beg your pardon?
Feed me.
Tui, you talked. You open your trap. You sing and you sing.
Feed me, Carbon. Feed me now.
I can't.
I'm starving.
Look, maybe I can squeeze a little more out of this one.
More.
There isn't any more. What do you want me to do, slit my wrists? Oh, boy. Look, I got an idea. I'm gonna go down to Schmendrick's and pick up some nice chopped sirloin.
Must be blood.
Tui, that's disgusting.
Must be fresh.
I don't want to hear this.
Feed me.
Does it have to be human?
Feed me.
Does it have to be mine?
Feed me.
Where am I supposed to get it?
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long.
Thinking about it, Red Harvest would be perfect as a movie, if only because the book is so entertaining with this stuff. It'd be like the corniest, hokiest zombie movie you could ever see, but with Star Wars? I mean, What is not to love in that combination? I mean, heck, the whole plot is like any generic zombie movie out there. You have the excess gore, frequent death. Oh, and I haven't even gone into the characters yet. That's a whole other thing. The characters of Red Harvest are, well, they're alright. This was a missed opportunity. Schreiber could have really gotten into the heads of these characters much more, showing their personalities and making us actually care about them. Instead, we got characters who, when they died, you didn't really care about it. I mean, sure, the majority of them were likable, so when they did die, you felt a sort of, well, that sucks reaction to it. But pretty much the page afterwards, I had already forgotten about it and really didn't care at all. After reading both Red Harvest and Death Troopers, I'm inclined to think that writing characters is Joe Schreiber's weakness when it comes to novels. He just doesn't really get inside their heads as much as an author like Troy Denny, or even, lover or hater, Karen Travis. That, and the fact that his characters simply aren't all that compelling. I mean, they have the potential to be, again with that word, damn it, but with the way he wrote them, it just isn't there for me. There's another reason, however, that Joe Schreiber's characters feel so very two-dimensional at times. Let me simply point you to the length of the novel. Yes, folks, Red Harvest is a mere 244 pages, and we have to pay a full hardcover price for this, a book that's shorter than many paperbacks. What the hell? I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that the page count of the book is the real horror here. Sure, if the novel itself had been great and had not needed any extra content, this might, and let me point out how much emphasis I put on might, have been forgivable. However, I can think of more than a few things I would have liked added into the plot, or maybe even, like I've already said, more fleshing out of the characters. Amazingly enough, it's longer than Death Troopers, but only by a measly 10 pages. Schreiber could have added at least a good 30 to 40 pages onto this, and maybe that would have even helped the rushed feeling the entire plot had. Through the entire book, I felt like Schreiber was trying to hurry through the events unfolding, and that's not a good feeling to get from a book, believe me. Don't get me wrong, however. I've mostly enjoyed Schreiber's actual writing style so far overall. His descriptions of things like gore and zombies are top-notch, and he does create a pretty good atmosphere. There are a couple of times where things got genuinely creepy. Plus, he uses awesome words, like a neutron star. You know what that means, right?
I was searching, you were on a mission, then our hearts combined like a neutron star collision.
Yes, I will take any chance I can to show Muse. You cannot expect anything less from me. Anyway, he also uses words like newbie, which is sort of random, but sure, why not? There's no reason the Sith Empire can't be like an internet forum. Or Scrubs.
Oh, whack a newbie! Wow! Wow! Oh, there you are! Oh, there you are! Oh, come here! Oh, whack a newbie!
All in all, Red Harvest feels like a story that didn't quite reach its potential on any front. The story, the characters, the length, etc. Sure, it had its moments, and I liked it better than Death Troopers, with its pretty cool details about the Sith Empire it gave to us. I would be jumping up and down with joy if Joe Schreiber wrote a book specifically focused on that, with no zombies in sight. With luck, his next book in the Star Wars universe, if he does write another one, that is, which I wouldn't be surprised at all, will do just that, and maybe even reach the potential so-called horror in the Star Wars universe can.